What's up, Raider Nation? What's up, YouTube? I'm back at it once again. Sorry for the delay, but I had things to do. I'm not a YouTuber yet. Hopefully you can subscribe and like this video, and I won't have to work at that job that I call work. Let's get into it.
Mother's Day is in 3 weeks, guys. 3 weeks, Mother's Day. Not this Sunday, not the following Sunday, but the next Sunday is Mother's Day. All right, you guys, remember that. Happy Mother's Day coming up in a couple of weeks, guys. So go shopping for your mom.
All right, now hold on. First order of business. In keeping with tradition, you know this is the way Willie Brown would want it. You guys, Mother's Day is coming up. Don't forget about your moms on Mother's Day. Call her, take her out to dinner, buy her something. Don't forget about moms. So happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there.
Rest in peace to the late, great Willie Brown. I have the pleasure of carrying on this tradition with the Raiders and reminding everybody next weekend is Mother's Day. Call your mom, go drive, pick up groceries, tell her you love her, tell her you miss her. Take care of your moms, man. They run this thing.
What's going on, Raider Nation? I want to say happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there today. We wouldn't be the men we are today without our mothers, so we appreciate you. Thank you.
What's up, Raider Nation? John Simpson here. I just want to wish all the mothers a happy Mother's Day.
Hey, what's up, Raider Nation? Andre James here. Just wanted to wish all the mothers out there happy Mother's Day. Go Raiders.
What's up, Raider Nation? Hunter Renfro here, wide receiver number 13. Just want to wish all the mothers out there a happy Mother's Day. Go Raiders.
First off, I want to start with the draft. We just went through our first 2021 draft, and it was an up and down roller coaster overall. I don't really grade drafts, but if I have to right now, I'd say it was a B. First pick was Alex Leatherwood out of Alabama. I've been on the record about picking a right tackle / left tackle in the first round. I've been on the record about not wanting to do that, but then again, I'm not the GM. They said he was a bit of a reach. Now he's not so much of a reach. Now he kind of fits the system, and that's what it's all about. You want to pick players to fit your system. You don't pick players in the first round per se unless they drop to you and you can't pass up on a player. You want to be able to pick a player that fits your system, that fits what you do, rather than the shiny new car that you don't know what the hell to do with. So it was a great pick overall. I was a little upset about the pick because I thought we weren't going to get Trevon Moehrig. Needless did I think that we were going to pick up Trevon Moehrig in the second round. So we picked up Trevon Moehrig in the second round from TCU. I've been high on him. You guys know that if you've been watching my videos. I have no idea who's been watching my videos. But anyways, Trevon Moehrig I've been really high on because he's the best flat-footed safety in the draft, period. He's the best playmaker. Mike Mayock, John Gruden been on the record saying they don't have that playmaker on defense, which I 100% agreed with. So Trevon Moehrig fits that role, fits the bill. He's part of Gus Bradley's scheme of things. He's that piece that we need. He can be anywhere on the field and be able to play that outfielder position. He has the skill set to do so. He's a good character guy. I didn't know too much about the guy. I just watched a lot of tape about him, not just his YouTube videos. I watched every game that I could possibly watch on him from front to start. He has a little bit of lapsing moments, but more overall, 90% of them. He is the best player in the draft, and we stole him in the second round, which I'm totally great on. Like I said, this draft was an up and down roller coaster as far as how we went from picking a right tackle right away to now picking one of the best players that I thought we should have grabbed in the first round. Even Mayock said I was tempted to trade back into the first round to get him, because I did not think he was going to be there. And he said that I'm going to let things play out. What he meant is that the medical came in and they saw that he had back issues. I think that back issue thing might have been planted in there. We jumped ahead of Dallas, which makes me happy. I don't like Dallas. I am so happy that we jumped right in front of them and took the player that they wanted. So pick number 3 was Malcolm Kuntz out of Buffalo. The last player we got at Buffalo was Khalil Mack. That worked out great. To be honest with you, I watched zero tape on Kuntz. After we picked him, I watched a ton of tape on him. Has a great first step, has a great burst around the edge, can bend really well. I see why they picked him. As soon as the ball is snapped, he just jumps right off the line. Reminds me a lot of Yannick. And they use that comparison, I guess, because he's on the team, but he does remind me a lot of Yannick, the guy that we currently picked up on free agency. He's going to be a good player for sure. They call him a rotational player, but over time, he might push Max Crosby for a starting position. You never know in this situation, but right now, as Gus Bradley's defense is known for, is basically rotational players up front. He's a playmaker for sure. It was a great pick in my mind. Pick number 3, again, Vine Diablo. It's probably one of the most interesting picks of all of them. Safety slash linebacker slash everything for Virginia Tech. He fits the bill. They keep on saying the Cam Chancellor type player. I think they really want to use him at linebacker. Actually, we've been told, or he's told us, that he's going to play the will linebacker position. So basically covering your faster tight ends and being the enforcer in the middle of the field. So he's not going to be back there like a Cam Chancellor. They're going to play around with the secondary for sure. They're going to play around with those safeties. So you're going to have about, I would assume about 3 or 4 safeties on the field at one time, especially on passing downs. This is perfect to have this guy on the field. He's a big guy. He hits hard. He's a playmaker. I love the pick. I love his name. It's an awesome name to have. I wish I had it. But anyways, that's another great pick in the 3rd round. I watched a lot of tape on him. Didn't think we would pick him up simply because I think we would have had a safety beforehand. Didn't think he would transition to will linebacker, but now that it's with Gus Bradley's system, it makes a lot more sense to put him at will linebacker. So, great pick overall now that I know that he's going to will linebacker. So, great pick. Pick number 4 was a huge surprise. We traded back into the 4th round. We actually moved up. We moved back up. We picked up Tyree Gillespie. I was high on Tyree Gillespie. Great safety. Did not think we were going to pick him after we picked up Trayvon Morag. The thought process didn't even enter my brain that we'd ever go after a talent of Tyree Gillespie, nor did I think he would drop this far in the draft. And that's exactly why Mayock drafted up to pick him, because, like he said, he stuck out like a sore thumb. Why wouldn't you get a guy that needs to be out of the draft right now? He should have been picked up by another team. Why wouldn't you pick up this guy? He's a playmaker. That's why I don't think Carl Joseph will be on the team if Tyree Gillespie pans out here. He's a hell of a playmaker. He's an enforcer. He's a big guy. He's a natural strong safety, the in the box safety as they call it. This Gus Bradley transition I wasn't 100% sold on in the beginning as far as being a defensive coordinator, because all I could think about is the Jaguars. Rarely is he known for all the stuff he's done with Seattle Seahawks, what he's done with the Chargers, but the influence he has on other players, especially defensive players, they love him. So you're getting guys that are absolutely loving him, and now you're starting to see this defense mold into something that I never thought would ever exist. So at first I was thinking that Gus Bradley hire was about a C. Now I'm looking at the high B range. Now we haven't got on the field, so I want to see how our last year picks kind of transition now with the new players there. I want to see if they get pushed to a higher level now that we have a good defensive coordinator, or do they fall backwards and we end up trading them like we did Conley. So this is very interesting times as far as our defensive goes, but iron sharpens iron, so it'd be a great situation for us to just see these competitors compete and have the best guys on the field, especially on that defense. This is what we need as an organization and a team to make it to the next level. We need to make it to the playoffs, and we need to be in it, not just for one game. We got to move forward. So this is an interesting times for us, and I believe it'll pan out for all of us. Pick number 5 is Nate Hobbs. Nate Hobbs is more so your nickel / slot cornerback. Do not think he's going to start right away. He is a good ball player. He's aggressive playmaker as far as like he jumps balls. We didn't have guys like that before. So he's going to be able to turn his head and jump on balls. Not so worried about that because Gus Bradley brought over a great defensive back coach to teach these guys to turn their heads, even though we were taught that at a young age, to turn your head, to go find the ball, not cover the guy. Find the ball, don't cover the guy. I think all the problems we had with Mullins, all the problems we had with Arnett and also Abram, it's all going to change simply because the coaching is going to be better in there. We didn't have teachers. We had more so guys that had a system in place, and that's all they knew. Now we're going to see significant differences. Hobbs, I can see him starting off in special teams, maybe making a push. I'd rather see a Meek Robertson play your slot cornerback position. I keep on hearing David Arnett. I'd rather see a mixture of Meek Robinson and also Damon Arnett kind of fill those voids. But we'll see what pans out overall. There's still some question marks with Isaiah Johnson as well. Where does he fit in this whole scenario? So I hope we got so much talent out there now. I hope it all pans out for all of us. That was the 5th round pick. We didn't have a pick in the 6th round. We traded that one away. No big deal. We had a 7th round pick in Jimmy Morsey. I probably am saying this wrong, but he's out of Pitt. I know that for sure. He is your basic Tom Cable, John Gruden grinder. Potential backup if Andre James doesn't, pan out. You got a center back there to actually fill that void. So basically, he's your backup center for right now. You don't expect too much out of 7th round pick, and that's exactly what it is. He's a 7th round pick, so I believe he might be a decent player. I just don't know too much about him, to be honest. I didn't want to really waste my time with a 7th round center. So, but anyways, that was the 2021 draft. Overall, like I said, I'd probably give it a B, but that's of right now. As far as looking at it on paper, we don't know how these players are going to transition. I'm just happy as hell that we got Trayvon Morag overall, but then we got him in the 2nd round. I'm happy as hell that we actually got him. Another standout was actually getting Tyree Gillespie. That was another one that I was really high on. I think Mayock has made up for his last draft. Last draft, I think, was hard on him because of COVID. The health reports weren't really coming out there like that. These guys do a lot of complaining about their drafting because they take pride in those drafts. And last year's draft was like basically throwing darts in the dark and with the blindfold on. So that's what they're trying to express to you without complaining too much. So the next topic after that was I was going to talk about how did Jeff Heath actually fit into the system until he got released. So there's your answer right there. Jeff Heath got basically released. He got released and inserted Casey Hayward. Casey Hayward, ultimate All-Pro, 2-time All-Pro. He's a 2-time All-Pro in Gus Bradley's system. So therefore, I'm all for it. We picked up an All-Pro and Casey Hayward. My next move, I would think, would be Melvin Ingram. The more pass rushers you can have, the better off you are. We got a lot in the defensive back area, and they weren't 100% sold on any of our cornerbacks, apparently, to pick up Casey Hayward. I think the whole situation with Casey Hayward was, why not? So they picked up him, released Jeff Heath. Great moves overall. I didn't see how Jeff Heath actually fits the system whatsoever. I'm still on that standpoint with Carl Nassib. Carl Nassib, even if you take a hit, I don't see where he fits in. Not even in special teams. But that's for another topic. On to Casey Hayward once again. Casey Hayward, it's a huge impact on our defense once again, making teams actually hold the ball a little bit longer, and it's just a huge impact on this defense. And then getting Melvin Ingram on this team would create so much pressure on those teams in our division. To have Melvin Ingram on that team, I think it would make perfect sense to pick him up, 120% to pick him up. Why not sign him to a 1-year deal like you did Casey Hayward and just let it play out? And there's got to be some guys that need to be cut. So if you've been living underneath of a rock and you haven't heard about Aaron Rodgers' latest saga, that is the newest saga with the Raiders, of course, because every time there's a free agent or possible free agent or trade, somehow, some way, always gets linked to the Raiders. Now, I think he said last year that he was intrigued by the Las Vegas Raiders. That's very vague wording there. So anyways, we automatically assume he wants to come to the Raiders. I don't see it happening because we can't have nice things. But there's a lot that needs to be done for that deal to work. Of course, Derek Carr would have to be traded. And I know you stands out there would lose your fucking mind. And then you have Marcus Mariota, which probably would have to be traded as well because Aaron Rodgers is making a significant amount of money. So you got to trade him as well. So your backup quarterback is Peterman, which is fine. You're picking up Rodgers. I don't even know at this point Rodgers is going to get traded. After watching that Adam Schefter interview with Dan Patrick, shout out to Dan Patrick for actually calling Adam Schefter out on his bullshit. He had him on his show, and he basically said, why drop that on draft day? Why would you do that on draft day? Did you hear anything that day? And all you saw was Adam Schefter kind of backpedaling through the whole conversation. And then you hear about Aaron Rodgers' his last drawing point was a wide receiver that none of us can name off the top of my head, that's for sure. As soon as they released him, he lost his mind. So there's a lot of rumors going on there that don't make sense at all. Aaron Rodgers is not publicly coming out and saying all this crap isn't true. As I used to say, or as I was told back in the day by my parents, when there's smoke, there's fire. So there's something going on there, and that's, I guess, what Adam Schefter was trying to explain, is that there was a lot of smoke going on. It's just a matter of time. But he didn't say that in his initial report. He just said that, that he wants out. He's comparing him to that old Bulls GM that wanted Michael Jordan gone. There's so much drama going on in this whole scenario. But I'm sure Brett Favre is getting the laugh out of this whole scenario because he went through this and Aaron Rodgers was sitting on the sideline. And I'm pretty sure Brett's looking at him now going, you see what I was dealing with this organization? As soon as they want you out, they want you gone. And sure as shit, they did that with drafting Jordan Love. And then again, I think they got a defensive player in the first round. I mean, why would you do that when you have an MVP on your team at quarterback? Why wouldn't you get him more weapons? And again, those are just rumors. They're intriguing. It's kind of funny to watch Twitter and have these stands and also these guys that like to troll these stands at the same time and don't understand that they're trolling them. It's kind of funny to watch the back and forth conversations. I used to get caught up in that mix, and I didn't realize that all Twitter is pretty much a big trolling system. So pure comic relief right about now. So I'm not going to get into it too much. It'd be great, but I don't see it happening. That's my thoughts about that whole subject. So that is the end of my long segment. I'm just playing catch up right now. There was a lot of information out there as far as everything that's happened since the draft. I kind of laid back and chilled out for a little while, but I'm back at it once again. I'm going to continue to stay on top of the news as much as I can. If I got to do it with my own cell phone, I'll do it. But I'm going to stay on top of the news. But once again, please like, subscribe, wake up your neighbor, wake up the people down the street, tell them to subscribe, tell them to like. I'm trying not to work my 9 to 5. That's trash. Help me out, folks. Raider Nation, I know you can do it. You're number one. We're going to pull through this together. I'll see you next time. Next time we get some news, I'll be on it. See you later.